Because that in itself could be a process, just identifying who you need to speak with or who you want to speak with, right? Identifying your avatar. Like, do you have some
Yeah.
exercises for the person to prepare themselves or their story for the book?
Yeah, I do. I actually have, well, I have a resource to help people identify what are their most relevant stories. And it really, I have the resource, it coaches people through the process of writing a book. And it's meant for them to identify those things that we talked about. So if they're looking
Mhm.
for like a resource you can do on your own in terms of how you arrive at those things where you are clear on your audience and your message, then that's a really good place to start. And it also has lots of prompts for people to identify what are their most juiciest stories, since stories are always they're the backbone of any good book. Is made up of good stories and good storytelling. So it's like a list of 50 prompts for people to see what sparks when they look over that list,
Okay,
and to
for
see
some,
like
for some reason, I apologize, but did you notice is it breaking on my side at all?
it was just a moment ago it was sticking. um, it stuck right there. Yeah.
Something is coming through. I guess it's the time frame. Yeah. So just ensure I'll have to cut that part out. But
Okay.
yeah, so whatever
Uh-huh.
part you wanted to share again, but yeah, it was kind of getting stuck. You know,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think what it is with Zoom, certain times of the day, depending how many people are on
Oh,
Zoom, Zoom is like
okay.
bombarded. I can only imagine, right?
Right.
Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, so yeah, so share if you could share with the audience, just some beginning tips of
Mm-hmm.
preparing if someone's out there and say,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, you know what, I have a book within me,
Mm-hmm.
what should be my first step in preparing to say connect with someone like you and then be ready to write this book?
Well, I think it's super simple. This is going to be so simple that I hesitate to even share, but it's valuable. I encourage people to just write their ideas down, like have a space where you collect your ideas. And if it's a Google Doc, just write down what your thoughts are and then make space for more to come in. So, you, the way that looks for me is I will know I have a book idea or the beginning of a book idea, and I want more. I'm like, okay, show me more. What's next? What's next? So I declare my intention to God and say, I want to write this. I'm open to inspiration. I'm open to creativity. Just declaring your intention and affirming that you are full of ideas and you're full of creativity, and you are now an open channel for more ideas to come through, and then
Let it
making
go.
yeah, and then making space, whether that's, for me that looks like going on long walks without anything in my ears, so I
Hmm.
can let the thoughts kind of sift and settle, and all the mind chatter to die down, and then ideas pop in, and then you have a place to write them down, and just kind of follow your curiosity, see what sparks, see what is stirred within you, and follow your curiosity as whatever breadcrumbs you discover as you're being open to these ideas that are coming through. Where do you want to go further? Where do you want to follow the thread? What sparks, what reminds you of this other? Does something spark from your past and you were reminded of a story, and thinking of how that could serve your audience? Just be open for things to come through. And if you have an idea, question it, interrogate it, see what the idea wants to show you, and yeah, and just see what wants to come through first, and make space in your own mind and heart for that idea to germinate.
I love it. That's a great idea. I mean, when you're seeing that, like really just clearing all of those different thoughts and being able to just have a clear mind, you're saying those ideas of what it is that you want to write, it should start flowing easier on the, especially if you're writing on paper. And I know there's always a discussion about should a person write or type. What's
Well,
the
I do
verdict on
both.
it?
I do
Okay.
both. I have my journal and I have my Google Docs where I collect ideas. I do a lot of if I'm working on a book but I don't know exactly what I need to be working on, I'll just set my timer and I'll say I'm not going to do anything else but think about this book, and I'm not going to get on the internet or anything else. Just kind of just think about it, free write about it. I might research something related to the book, write down whatever thoughts I have. Yeah, I have a Google Doc. I have my journal. Um, Areas where the information will be easily accessible is a good idea, so you don't have to hunt back through and try to remember like, oh, what was that great idea that I had that I wrote down. But however you're going to access the information best, and it's all good in any way you want to do it, go for it is what I say. There are no rules.
I love it. That's
Mhm.
fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
any last advice for those who are listening in regards to by being an entrepreneur, being a mom, starting the journey of being an entrepreneur? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, I think that just entrepreneurship and being an author are the same in that it requires a commitment to something bigger than yourself, and a desire to put the needs of who you're serving before your
Hmm.
own. And that's what enables you to overcome the fear and all of the self doubt that pop up for all of us. Being able to reconnect with your why, reconnect with the people that you're serving, and recognizing that your mission and your message are bigger than yourself. So it's in your best interest and it's in the best interest of everyone else to just go ahead and do it, to continue on this journey or write that book or make that start. It's you doing that and living into the biggest version of your idealized self is good for everybody. And it requires courage and commitment. But when I remind myself of it's not about me, it's about the people who I'm serving,
Serving. Yep.
yeah, that's what compels me to keep going. So that's what I
I
would
love that.
the word that I would have for your listeners today.
Awesome. And Jennifer, if someone wanted to connect with you in regards to all of the things that you've shared, especially if they want to write a book, how can they get in touch with you?
They are welcome to go to my website, jenniferlockewrites.com. I'm Jennifer Locke Writes pretty much everywhere. Instagram, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Jennifer Locke, Jennifer Locke Writes Facebook page. I'm anywhere you go, it's pretty much the same. But yeah, I would they can go to my website, and I would love to connect with them.
I love that. Thank you so much, Jennifer. This was fantastic. Gave some great tips about those who have the story within them and they need to get it out, especially within a book. And I can really see how this can help a person who is, especially in the coaching or in a speaking lane or really any business, and want to take those ideas and place them within a book. And I think that would be great for them to connect with you and really see that come to life, right? All those great
Yeah.
ideas sometimes our entrepreneurs have, they just sometimes need someone to just help guide them, right? To just guide that story right out of us.
Yeah, and it's serving everyone when you do that. It's I encourage, if you have the desire to do it, if you have the willingness to do it, then you are worthy, and the world needs to hear it. So
I
yeah.
love it.
Uh-huh.
And if you had three words to describe Jennifer Locke, what would it be?
I would say encouraging, empathetic, and fun. I like to laugh a
Fun.
lot. I like to laugh. I like to
Okay.
dance. I like to have fun.
Have a good time, right? Being
Yeah.
a fun writer. That's awesome.
Yeah. Joy filled. Yeah. Uh-huh. However you want to say
Joyful
that.
writer. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you so much for having me today, Carla. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, everyone, if you notice, Jennifer gave us some golden nuggets of how we are to look within ourselves and get that courage, not only to start, but especially if we want to start writing, if we want to have a book, and if we want to just really serve others. Sometimes writing and having a product of something of what it is that you want to share with the world is the best way to do it, is usually through a book. So contact Jennifer, contact someone that can help you, someone like her that can help you get that story out of you and then share it. As I would always say, don't be selfish. Give the world your gifting. With that, thank you for joining us here on Your Inspired Journey. I'm Carla Andrews, and I wish you well.